You're standing in a kitchen. The coffee machine is dripping, slowly, too slowly. You tap your foot, you check your phone. 3 more seconds, you think. Just 3 more seconds, and then you'll finally leave for work, like every other ordinary morning of your life. Then everything stops. Not the coffee machine, everything, every person on your street, every bird frozen in mid-flight above the rooftops, every car frozen on the highway, mid-turn, mid-honk, mid-argument between 2 drivers who will never finish shouting at each other. The whole world frozen, except you blink. You look around, your own heart is still beating, your own breath is still moving in and out, but nothing else anywhere is moving at all. And somehow, that silence is louder than anything you've ever heard in your entire life. Imagine this. One moment, the world is completely normal, full of noise and motion, and people rushing past you. The next, it's a photograph. A perfect, silent photograph. And you are the only thing inside that photograph still alive, still breathing, still able to move your own hands. At first, it feels like a glitch in reality itself. You wave your hand in front of a stranger's face. Nothing. You shout as loud as you possibly can, right next to someone's ear. Nothing at all. The entire world has become a wax museum, and somehow, impossibly, you are the only visitor allowed to walk through it. You touch a frozen bird hanging in the sky. It doesn't fall, it just hangs there, wings open, like time itself is holding its breath, and quietly, you start to wonder what this actually means for you. This isn't science fiction anymore. Not really. It's something philosophers actually sit down and think about, seriously, in university lecture halls. They call it a stopped world problem. It's a simple trick they use to test a much bigger idea about human nature. Freeze every single person on Earth except one. Then ask a question: what happens to a person given total, unlimited, completely consequence? Free time. It sounds on the surface like the ultimate fantasy, total freedom. No rules holding you back, no one watching your every move, no clock ever ticking against you again. But every thought experiment like this has a hidden second half, a part almost nobody considers until they're already and you're about to live inside it, for what will start to feel like days, then weeks. Your first instinct is pure excitement, plain and simple. Walk into any store you want, anywhere in the city. Take anything off the shelf without paying. No one will ever know, because no one will ever wake up to notice it's even gone. Rewrite the answers on a test you're about to fail tomorrow morning. Read every single book you always meant to read but never had time for. Learn an entire new language in what feels like one long afternoon, because you now have as many afternoons as you could possibly want. You start running through a museum, touching paintings. No guard can stop you from touching. You sit in the driver's seat of a car that isn't yours. For that first hour, this feels less like a nightmare and far more like winning at life itself, completely and totally. For a while, this really does feel like winning. No deadlines pressing down on you anymore. No rush to be anywhere on time. No consequences waiting quietly on the other side of a bad decision you might make. You could study medicine for 10 straight years inside this frozen world, then return to a normal one where not a single second has passed for anyone else. But here's where the twist quietly begins to creep in. Consequences aren't just punishments waiting to happen to you when things go wrong. They're actually proof that your actions matter to someone else, somewhere. A consequence means someone noticed what you did. Someone was affected by it. Someone somewhere will remember. Take that completely away, and you take away something you never expected to lose. If nothing you do can ever go wrong, nothing you do can ever really count, either. That's the part nobody ever warns you about, not once. In any story about wishes coming true. Days pass, only for you. The frozen world never catches up, never moves an inch. You visit 100 different cities across the globe. You taste food that nobody else will ever remember you eating, not even the chef who made it. You read through a library's worth of books, cover to cover, completely alone in total silence. And slowly, very slowly, something starts to feel wrong underneath all this endless freedom. It's small at first, barely noticeable at all. Just a quiet, hollow feeling, sitting right behind everything you're doing, like background noise you can't quite manage to turn off. Nobody reacts to you, not once, No matter what you say or do, nobody remembers your visit, because for them, no visit ever actually happened at all. You could scream the single most important news in human history into a packed, crowded room, and it would land on total, absolute silence forever, unheard by anyone. You start talking to people anyway, just to hear your own voice land somewhere, on someone, even if they can't respond. A stranger, frozen mid-laugh at something you'll never get to know. A child, frozen mid, jump over a puddle, feet still hanging in the air. You start telling them things, secrets, jokes, quiet apologies, none of it reaches anyone at all. And that's when the excitement you felt earlier quietly starts turning into something else entirely. This is what psychologists actually call hedonic adaptation. And it's a real, well-documented pattern that shows up everywhere in human behavior. The more of something you get, freedom, pleasure, even something as simple as ice cream, the less each new piece of it actually means to you over time. Infinite time isn't infinite joy, even though it sounds like it absolutely should be. It's actually one of the fastest known ways to feel completely, utterly nothing at all. Your brain simply isn't built to find lasting meaning in something that has no limit and no real cost attached to it. You start to notice you're not even enjoying the things you're doing anymore. You're just doing them, one after another, mechanically, because there's genuinely nothing else left to do. Eventually, you stop taking things from stores, you stop reading the books, you stop running through empty, silent museums. You just sit down, quietly, alone, in the middle of a frozen city street, surrounded by strangers who will never move again. Next to a stranger frozen mid-laugh, mouth still open, eyes still bright with whatever joke they were sharing. Next to a child frozen mid-jump, forever caught between the ground and the open air. And that's when the truly horrifying part of all this finally completely sinks in. You're not free. You never actually were, not for one single second. You're alone. Completely, perfectly, unbearably alone, in a world made only of stopped strangers who will never once look back at you or notice you were ever there. Here's the mirror. And honestly, it's closer than you might think. You don't actually need frozen time to feel this exact same thing happening to you. Look at your phone right now, wherever you happen to be watching this from, at this very moment. Every single scroll is a tiny frozen moment, just like the ones in this story, a photo of someone's dinner from 3 hours ago, a video of someone's vacation you'll never actually take part in yourself, a whole world happening somewhere else entirely that you sit and quietly watch instead of living your own actual life. Every hour spent scrolling through other people's frozen little lives is an hour where your own real clock quietly keeps running, without you completely and totally alone. The stopped world was never really just a fantasy or a strange story to pass the time. It's exactly what happens anytime you trade real, shared time with real people, for time spent silently watching life happen through a screen instead of your own hands. The true trap was never the frozen strangers around you in this story. It was mistaking unlimited time alone for some kind of gift worth having. So, standing in a kitchen, coffee machine still dripping, slowly, just like before, someone walks in behind you and says something you almost don't quite catch over the sound of the machine. And this time, you don't check your phone, you don't quietly wish for 3 more seconds alone. You just turn around and answer them. Because that ordinary, unfrozen, shared moment was the entire point all along.